It'll be on podcast, anything radio, which is strange. That's fine. Let's just copy this and let's most importantly mute that. I don't want that. Uh, let's go to Facebook. All right, so this is on one of my channels. Not the correct channel, but it's okay. I mean, well, it's a start. All right, so we are live, just waiting for people to come in into the chats and stuff. So until somebody does decide to join, a let's go into. Oh no, you can close that. That's fine. All right, let's see. Let's go to Utizzle. Okay, yeah, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's fine. All right, in the meantime, let's just watch some headline news, see what's going on. A lot is going on. I wanted to start these live debates because there's a lot of people that have a lot to say, and instead of throwing insults at each other, hating one another, it's important that we just have a conversation face to face. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not serious about what you're talking about. You're just ranting and raving for no reason. I've been called a lot of names in the past couple of weeks, and it never bothers me. It truly never does. But when it's friends and family, it stings a little bit only because it's like, why are you on my page? Like, why would you friend me on Facebook, try to act like my friend, and just because you're family, that doesn't make you exempt from ridicule, and even my close friends as well. Like, I don't understand. You jump on my page, you never engage when I have something positive to say, but the minute you disagree with something negative, you're just so prone to jump on and start smacking your lips, and I just don't understand why. Well, I understand why. It's insecurity. It's complete insecurity. So I'm sitting here waiting for anyone that wants to come on, have a discussion. I'm going to invite Mode 101. He is my partner when it comes to this YouTube stuff. He's just not as available as I am at all times, but he is my partner. in this YouTube metaverse per se, and we'll see when he's ready to jump on. Let's see if I can pull up. And this, again, this is all new to me. As far as the live streaming and stuff, I normally don't do this, but it is important for us to have this discussion. Because throwing temper tantrums like toddlers and yelling at each other, yada yada, it's not doing anything for anyone. And we can do better as humans. And all right, so until we have some people coming in, we're just gonna go through some current events and see what the hell is going on. Brooklyn Park erupts in a massive snowball fight. What the hell is going on? Hold on a second. What in the world is going on? Let's. Well, it's all being recorded either way. But I do want to share this. This is what we're supposed to be doing. But people are so wrapped up in their own bullshit. It's like, dude. I missed my dual screen. I'm gonna have to go back to that. All right, so let's share this right here. Share the sound. Put me here. Put that there. And boom shakalaka. All right. I need to definitely go back here. Lower myself. There we go. Just like that, mister. I will say, like, dude, I like the cold and shit, but please don't throw snowballs in my face. Brooklyn Park erupts in, yeah, that's a lot of snow. Bro, it's ice out here. I mean, the snow came, but then the ice came right after. Look at that. Dude, imagine that. People complain, and you have no idea what nature has to offer. Look at that. They don't have a house or a fireplace. I know they're built for that, but damn. My lordy lord. Oh, I might want to invite, hold on. I want to invite people to this live stream on my other. Let's do this. Let's go here. Um Go here. You're blocking my view, fucker. All right. Let's do a post. Create a post. Yep. Yeah. All right, I put that post out, and that should be what it is, dog. I guess you can see everything I'm doing. That's fine. I don't care. All right, let's go back home. What is this? Yeah, we can close that. Nope, I didn't say expand. Well, I didn't want it to expand, but there it is. We can close you up a little bit, put you to the side. All right. Oh, I saw this the other day. It was 6 days ago, but I'm not. I want something current. What's going on now? Where is the headline news? And again, I want to welcome anyone who's here. We are just getting started, and it's going to be a long night. Got about 3 hours, and we're all going to be discussing, and longest sentence so far in feeding our future case, handing down to. Wait, what's this? What's going on here?
Today, a judge handed down the longest sentence so far in the Feeding Our Future fraud scandal. Amazingly, it's not the only major development in court. Turns out the $250 million estimate is only a drop in the bucket to what the fraud cost the taxpayers. Lou Raguse lays it all out for us.
As the ringleader in a group that stole nearly $50 million and the mastermind behind the plot to bribe a juror in his trial, 36-year-old
$50 million is crazy, bro. If you're getting money from taxpayers, you see, like, I guess there's two levels to this shit. You're getting money from taxpayers, and then you're taking money from donors. The taxpayers have no idea what you're spending this money on. Let me turn the mic down just a tee bit. And then the donors think, you see, when it comes to taxes, they delegate that shit. They take it and then they spread it out. With the donors, they specifically want to feed people. And you guys are coming to this country and taking advantage of that. And even for the ones that are here, taking advantage of that. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you, dude? This is nuts.
Abdiaziz Farah is one of the most prolific fraudsters in the Feeding Our Future case.
Yeah, he's one of the worst for several factors.
Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson says Farah was one of the very first people to begin defrauding taxpayers during the pandemic, recruiting others, and claiming to serve 18 million meals to children, at first out of his tiny Empire Cuisine and Market in Shakopee. Eventually, making more absurd claims, such as serving kids in big open fields, to the tune of nearly $50 million.
People in this case not only took tens of millions of dollars, but laundered much of it abroad and sent much of it to Kenya, among other things. They were building an entire apartment building in Nairobi.
The feds can't get back the cash Farah sent or the property he bought in Kenya, but they did seize 5 luxury cars and all the U.S. property he bought, including lots on Prior Lake, where he planned to build a multi-million-dollar home. At his sentencing hearing, Farah apologized for trying to bribe one of his jurors, saying he panicked, but he said nothing of his role in the fraud scheme.
The sense I got was he's sorry he got caught.
Judge Nancy Brazel sentenced Farah to 28 years in prison, the longest sentence so far among the pandemic meal fraud suspects. And afterwards, Thompson updated the scope of the overall loss of taxpayer money.
So the $50 million that they took, most of that's in addition to the $250 million that's commonly cited as the total loss amount in this case. So the total loss in this case is well in excess of $300 million and possibly in excess of $400 million.
Now, the reason for that, the $250 million number accounts for the fraud that was run through the nonprofit sponsor called Feeding Our Future. But Farah's group worked with a different sponsor called Partners in Nutrition. No one from Partners has been charged yet. Thompson says they're still investigating. Farah still needs to be sentenced for the juror bribe, which will likely add more years to his 28-year sentence. Rena.
Unfucking believable. Let's see what's going on over here.
I can't explain what happened here today. It just felt like we got shut out. They closed the doors to the courthouse.
Well, tonight, just hours after a federal judge ordered 2 St. Paul church.
Look, man, I ain't one to judge, but goddamn, like, Mamma mia. Holy shit.
Protesters released. They're still in jail, and now their attorney says they can't even get in touch with them.
This comes after the feds arrested 3 people for what they're calling a coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul over the weekend. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni joining us from our newsroom tonight. And Mike, prosecutors are now fighting the release order.
But it's unclear where this will all go next. At last check, all 3 suspects are now at a jail in Elk River, and that's even after a judge ordered 2 of them released after finding that the feds made mistakes on their arrest warrants.
Renee, good.
Dude, that
just days
shit
after
is so
protesters
inappropriate.
interrupted Sunday service at City's Church in St. Paul because one of the pastors works for
that
ICE.
going to a
The
school and
feds arrested
protest. I mean,
3
what the fuck
people.
is the difference?
Community activist Nakima Armstrong, St. Paul School Board member Chantel Allen, and protester William Kelly. Later in the day, a federal
I'm
judge ordered the feds to release Armstrong and Allen, saying the feds made
I can hear you. Yeah, give me a
Okay, good,
second. Yeah,
good,
I
good.
got you. 1 second. Let's stop the share. Multiple participants. Just give me a second. This is gonna be an interesting evening.
Mhm.
Oh, I gotta go back to my original screen. Back to meeting. Yes, back to meeting. Thank you. I appreciate it, mister. Oh, I can see you on the corner. Can you see my screen that I'm sharing?
Yeah,
And that's like the courthouse and shit.
yeah, yeah.
All right, give me a second. We gotta. All right, so that stopped. I just upgraded the All right, there we go. Yeah. Okay, you can see me now, right?
Yeah,
You can see me without the screen sharing.
I see the screen. Me and you're on the top, and you're on the lower, to me, on the lower left hand.
Is there any way you can show me what you can see? It's important. I just want to know. We need to figure this shit out.
Video time on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, show me what you can see.
You got your phone going?
And sooner or later, I have to get a new like we both have to get new cameras because I can't use my phone. No, you can't do that. That's my phone, bro.
Okay, I'll take a picture and send
Yeah.
it.
I can't see it. That's what I'm saying. My phone is my camera. I can't touch my
Oh.
phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll try. Okay, I know what to do, man. Ready?
Just take a picture of your screen and show it to me.
Funny, bro. You're funny.
That phone looks like so modern. It's so different.
You see it?
No.
Are you
What
already
the
showing-
fuck?
Dude, it looks fine. You're in the lower. You're in the lower.
No, I
Yeah.
understand. I need to see what you're seeing.
Oh, I see a sketch of people sitting around a table, and then
Bro, this ain't the 1700s. Just show a fucking picture.
that's what I just did, bro.
You're trying to describe something. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, here's a better thing. Take a picture and then send it, or a screenshot, and then send it to Facebook so I can see it.
Okay.
It's important. Yeah, I just need to see what I'm looking at.
All right. So through Messenger, right?
Yeah. Yep, I'm in Messenger right now.
Okay.
All right, let's see. That's what you see right now?
Yeah. I see you on the lower left-hand corner, me and you on the top, and then the
Oh, you see, that's dude. That's important. I had no idea it looked like that. Um, okay, well that's okay for now, I guess. That's not what I want. Um, because I did pause the share. I don't know why it's doing that. That's very strange. All right, but you can see yourself, you can see me. Like what you see right now is what you're looking at.
Yep.
Okay.
Me and you are two little squares on the top. Then you see the
Okay.
computer with a sketch of people sitting in an office.
And now right now you see your camera and shit. That's what you see? Like right now.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I see.
And
See how you're in the lower left-hand corner?
Yep. All right, so that's new for you right there, what you see?
Yeah, that's you. That's you, Victor Ramirez.
Okay. All right, cool. So we'll leave it at that. There's a lot to adjust and shit, obviously. I opened this panel for anyone to join at any time. Obviously, they can't just jump in and chime in. I have to accept them and admit them, which I would admit anyone. Obviously, there's a lot going on. I want to take it from the top. All right.
Okay.
We're going to start with my post that I put out just to show you some things. And you see, it says the screen sharing is paused, but you're saying you can see the screen. It's so strange. That is so strange. Hold on. Let me resume. Okay. Obviously, you can see this. And just to clarify, me and you are on the top screen.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's take a look at some stuff because I think what me and you can sense right now is that I feel like, and I think you can agree with this, I feel like people are just sucker punching people like us without explanation, verbally, right? They're just like, bow, taking shots and then running away like little bitches. And I'm just being honest, because that's exactly what's going on. This is not loading and I don't know why. So let's see here. Let's do a little loady poo. Like people are literally sucker punching and running away. And it doesn't frustrate me too much. I don't know why this is not loading. I don't know what's happening. Let's try to close this. Let's close that. And try to reload this. Huh. Okay, now it's loading. All right. So we're going to start with mine. And then we'll get to yours.
Okay.
All right. So where's that original? Oh, here it is. Okay. So the original post. All right. We'll go to all comments. This is what I wanted you to see earlier. And I'd simply say, if you're law enforcement, you cannot protect yourself and shoot someone that's attacking you or cause bodily harm, according to 50% of public opinion. And just so you know, Henry, there is no time limit. I purchased the thing, so we don't have to stop. Like, there's no time limit. But it's okay that thugs in the hood just shoot randomly and kill an innocent child. Got it. You guys are superstars. I want to see y'all bring the same energy into the hood, and then I'll take you serious. And then here comes, tough guy over here. I don't even know, Trump would probably just let you guys suck his dick if you asked him. Fucking tools. Okay, so like the history between me and this guy right here, I've known him for many years, and I don't know where that came from because Trump would probably let you guys suck his dick. And like we were talking about earlier, bro, I have so much criticism of Trump, like it's fucking crazy. And then, there's comments, whatever. Anyone could read that on their own time. But this is where I decided to chime in. Another social warrior, tough guy. Enough said. And when I say enough said, it's just like, okay, you just exposed yourself. And I told my buddy, don't pay people like, with these words hurt them. There's no reasoning with low IQ people, obviously. And then here's his tangent, and I think he erased some of his. Oh no, no, no! He put it. Laughing my ass off. I'll be seeing you around, Vic. So that's already a proclamation of a threat, right? I'll be seeing you around. Why? What, like, because I said words right here? It wasn't even going. I'll let you have it in a second, Mode. But there's what did I say here to provoke anyone to be violent against me? And for someone to say, I'll be seeing you around, Vic, like, what the fuck do you mean? First of all, I'm not 45. So 45-year-old fucking DoorDasher, and I'm ignorant. I didn't say you were ignorant. I said you have a low IQ. And that's what people don't understand. When I use words, I use it very wisely. I mean the words that I say. If I call someone stupid, it's because you lack intelligence. And in this case, he lacks the acuity to having a conversation, obviously. If I reported your ass to ICE, they'd shoot your brown ass too. You gotta stand up. You're gonna stand up for them then. And then I just told everyone, I'm asking none of my people to respond to this guy. Let him talk. It's only words, because it is only words. What am I gonna do? Go back and you're gonna see me? What you gonna do when you see me? Oh, like you're gonna go back and forth over something that's so misunderstood because of that fucking mind virus that the majority of people have. So that was that, and then we'll get to you in a second. Just give me a moment. So then, little did he know, this is funny, that I made an entire video before he even commented, and how ICE made a big mistake, and I articulated what was wrong and what was right. But, these people don't care about facts. They just read a headline, obviously. And then we get to your post, what you were saying, and I'm just going to leave it at this. So when you made this post, people automatically assumed just because I disagreed with them that I'm some kind of Trump fanatic or whatever. And then this guy again said, what are you going to do? Promote or talk about my comments during your deliveries? It's like, first of all, I'm making money. Imagine that. Someone's going to bash you for making money. It doesn't matter what job you have. I'm raising my daughter. I'm very selective of who I work for, and I'd rather work for myself. So it's just really interesting when people just degrade you and try to assassinate your character. And this is some of my friends and family too. You think they're going to jump on this live stream to debate? I highly doubt it, because they disagree with you, they assassinate your character, and these are people that you love, you've known for many fucking years, and because of your opinion, they're just gonna sit there and berate you? I wouldn't do that to them. I don't even care. That's their opinion. That's the crazy part. They had an opinion towards me. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a brown person or whatever. I never rebutted like, oh, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you. That's called a acuity level. You have to have an IQ, a high IQ, to understand how to combat these people. And the best weapon is just not even saying anything. So I'll let you have it, brother.
Well, we'll go to the beginning, how this all started. I put up a post on Facebook. Normally, man, I stay out of politics. It's not my strength, my forte. I get what's going on, and honestly, bro, I'll be straight real with you. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? What's interesting is I set up my post where I gave an example, analogies, however you want to look at it. That's how it started.
Well, it's right here. I have it pulled up.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, I gave the example of, if you saw a pack of hungry lions, an avalanche, a herd of alligators, cannibals, a forest fire, someone with a gun, I'm pretty sure anybody in their right mind would just stay out of his way or look for safety or just get away from it. Okay. The point that I was bringing is ICE to this world right now has a bad reputation. Yet people still challenge them. Okay. Due to unfortunate circumstances, people have died from this. Okay. To me, I'm not trying to sound harsh or anything. I'm not here to put blame on ICE. I'm not here to put blame on the person that did it or whatever the case is. But these people, it's like their main function right now is to provoke. Let me ask you something. Me and you go protesting. Are you going to jump in front of a moving car? Are you going
no.
to, push them around and, get in their faces? Just imagine, what are we trying to do here? If I went up to somebody in a club or a bar and said, yo, you stink, man, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think if I'm putting my hand in your face? What do you think is going to happen? What? Because you think they're not allowed to touch you? These are human beings. Let's put aside what you are, cop, fed or whatever. Okay? What do you think is going to happen? All right? I don't support anything the way how they handle the situation. Okay? I don't think that they are properly trained to deal with the situation. But once
Who's they?
I'm talking about ICE.
ICE, okay, yeah.
ICE agenda, they have an agenda, and it's not to be dealing with protesters or whatever, but protesters put themselves into that line of fire. Okay? Let's talk about Renee Good real quick. Should the guy been in front of the car? No, Should she have supposedly I'm dropping my wife and my kid off and my dog and whatever the reasoning is, it doesn't matter. She was still stopping a situation. Everybody said, oh, cars went by. No, she's honking the horn, dancing around. It was provoked. Okay. Unfortunately, and believe me, I do not condone death to anyone. Don't even get that, don't think I'm like, that's good for her. A lot of people are like, that's good for her. But, there are two sides of the story. Okay. But I will tell you what prompted me to write this post. What prompted me to write this post is this morning, I woke up, had my coffee. Let me put on the news. Let me see what's going on with this weather. I'm looking at the weather, so let me see what's going on in the world. I had to sit there for 10 minutes while talking about this guy, reporter, whatever he was. He had a gun, shots were fired. Was it excessive? Yeah, probably. I don't think that one guy should have shot like 8 rounds to the guy, but whatever. Okay, but the guy did have a gun. What business did he have to provoke that situation? I don't know. I don't know the full story, but it is out there. But what really bothered me, I had to sit there for 10 minutes listening to this. Okay. So the next story comes and, oh, we found the killer of the sergeant that was killed. Up next, the weather. And I'm like, wow, that was like 15 seconds. Like, oh, his life didn't matter. So I'm just really confused as to what's going on. Okay.
Well, it's not a mystery. It's obviously a narrative,
Now, again, I love all my friends and I respect them all, but all my friends know that I'm a very neutral guy. It takes a lot for me to come out and say something. Okay. So I said something, and the whole idea of the analogy, the whole idea, I even put up the post what protesting means, what illegal protesting is, and that's what's happening.
Let me pull that up. Hold on.
Okay.
So you can see this right here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's happening, they're doing everything illegally. Listen, folks, whether they are right or wrong, it doesn't matter. They have guns. Stay out of their way. Stay clear of the line of fire. Remember, You're not going to walk into a herd of lions, are you? But here they are walking into a herd of lions.
Well, let's really quick, because I want to just add to what you're saying for sure. Is okay, so a herd of lions in the, let's say, the jungle or the desert or whatever. If you go up to them and try to pet them, you know the possibility of you getting your fucking shit handed to you. It's overtime, right? You're like, what are you doing? But in this case, it's like you can go up to ICE or yell at them and they're not going to attack you. There's no guardrails. There's no fence that's put up. If you did that, you can do that to lions behind a fence, but like you guys are saying that ICE is so fucking dangerous. They're so radical and whatever. Like, why isn't every ICE agent going out there and just massacring everyone? They're doing this because they know ICE has limits. Lions don't, bro. They don't follow laws. Read them a law and try to negotiate with them and see what the fuck happens.
Listen.
So I'm agreeing with you 100% on this.
My thing is this, you know, if I go, hey, I'm in a canoe, okay, and they say, hey, that river's infested with alligators. Chances are, I wouldn't even think twice. I'm like, yeah, I'll skip on the canoeing, you know, because, you know, God forbid I fall over. You know, canoes, you could easily fall over easily.
Are you trying to say that you can't have a constitution that you can present to an alligator and that's going to protect you? I'm confused.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, there is no law against you making up your mind to say, I'm going to go across the river, even though there's alligators. You know,
really quick, Henry, before we continue, I'm sorry. We do have a guest that's on here that I'm fucking honored to have. Just 1 second. Let's get him in here. And I want to present him to all of you. This is Jason Christensen. For anyone that's listening, this dude right here. So look, Jason, can you hear me? Your mic is off.
What up, homie?
I can hear you. Yo. So Henry, Jason, this is Henry. Henry was the security guard of my junior or elementary school from K to 8, right?
Yep.
I've known Henry forever. Now, when it comes to Jason, Jason is like a father figure. This dude was one of the first, actually the first person to introduce me into the Virginia Beach oceanfront scene. He is like, I haven't even seen him in years, like personally, and this dude is just absolutely fucking phenomenal. I haven't met anyone better than this dude when it comes to like his heart. And honestly, I'm thrilled that you're here, Jay. What the fuck is
Yeah,
up?
I figured I'd pop in and see what's going on.
We're having we're having a discussion of what's going on. Henry, did you want to continue? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick brief update. What happened was I put up a post on Facebook and I set up the post appropriately. I set an example and what's going on and why are you doing this, basically, you know? So basically, I'm going to ask you a question, you know? You see a herd of lions going towards you. What are you going to do? More than likely, run to the side, run for shelter, you know, whatever the case is. Right now, the way I look at it is that ICE has, it's a known fact. This is a fact. ICE has a bad rep. Whether they're right, wrong, it doesn't matter. Yet, to this day, people still jump in front of the cars. People still provoke them. People still push them around. People still do this and that. Now, unfortunately, we had a couple of deaths going on, okay? And it's their fault. It's Trump's fault. We're all Trump followers all of a sudden. And, you know, I don't care about Trump, to be honest with you. You know, there are some things I like he does and some things that I'm like, yo, you crazy, bro. But, you know, these people are pushing and pushing. So I put up this post and unfortunately, poor old Vic here got bashed and bashed. And I'm saying to myself, did they not understand the narrative of what I wrote? It was just an analogy of these protesters what they're doing. Stop doing it. Stay on the goddamn sidewalk and, hey, get away. And that's it. You don't have to
Well,
be.
yeah, really quick. Jay, what's your assessment on what's going on right now? Considering what he just mentioned.
Well, I believe that I would lay blame on the governors because they're inciting everybody to go out and get in the way and, saying that everybody's a Nazi and, comparing it to, comparing everything to Hitler type actions. And that's going to inflame people. And, that's what's going to happen. I mean, and that's what they're doing. They're literally stoking the fire, hoping something will happen. And then when something happens, they politicize it. And so look who it is too. It's white women mostly are the ones out there.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't see it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah, and you don't see any, immigrants. You don't see any, the protesting population is not the target demographic that's being gone after. And it's just odd to me that, people will stand up for something they don't even know what they're getting into. It's I don't want to say derangement syndrome, but anything against this political, whoever's in charge right now that's their goal. It's not. I don't even think they really believe in it. So, like, you look at these Antifa guys talking about, where's all this money coming from? And then you look at the governor of Minnesota, and it's looking like he was getting paid. He was getting contributions from the Somalian public, and that money came from all of the illegal daycares and all that crap that they're running. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's charges filed against the governor of Minnesota in a criminal mine, where he's going to have to pay the price. He already tried to step down and realized I guess for optics, it would look super bad. So he just announced he's not going to run again. So why would you not want to run again?
Yeah, all three of them just got subpoenaed and they have to show up to court soon. I don't know the exact date, but they have to get all their shit together. And I guess the main theme of this conversation is just like what Jay just said. People would say, you're a racist, you're a Nazi. Well, I'm sorry. I was one of the, Jay he hired me, Puerto Rican from the Bronx, looking like a fucking hoodlum when I first moved down there. You had Remo, he's black, so I don't understand the discrimination part and the racism when people start talking about Trump and shit. I firmly believe like it's a class issue, not a race issue. But it's really interesting on how people are so triggered. That's the main thing. Like as far as the corruption and shit, this situation is only happening in Minnesota, bro. They've been everywhere, bro, everywhere. Why the fuck?
If you go a little bit deeper, there's a Lutheran pastor in Minnesota that's pretty much responsible for all the Somalians that have come in, and I forget the name of his organization, but he gets money. I think it was somewhere around $20,000 per head that he's able to get over to the United States. And so,
Christ, dude.
And that's why the population of Minnesota is so large. It's because Minnesota is a huge Lutheran state, and he's kind of like the dean of what Lutheran parishes over there. Like he's the head man in charge, and so it's funneling all through the churches. And as you know, that money can't be looked at by the government. And so,
interesting.
Another rabbit hole to go down, dude.
It's a fact. I mean, it's not even a rabbit hole. That Lutheran pastor admits that's what they're doing. And then look at Somalia, and you think about how far back it goes, all the way to Black Hawk Down. We destabilized Somalia on purpose. And then now they don't qualify for refugee status, and so they still get to come over here under the refugee umbrella, which is what I'm worried about, these prosecutions that there's going to happen or come down the line. Is that going to do what it did for Trump? So Trump, when he got charged with all them crimes, it boosted his popularity by 100-fold. So my fear is going to be the same thing with the Democrats. They're going to use this as a platform to gain popularity. So they want people to take governors to court and like, look at me. They're using the justice system as a weapon. You know, the same thing they were doing to Trump. They're going to turn around and say that Trump is doing to them.
But this is fucking deliberate though. Like it's so obvious. You have the Leering censor, you have all of this shit that's popping up, and you know, I want you to know, Henry, as well. Jay is a veteran. He was in the Sears Academy, all that shit. And what you just said about Somalia is interesting because I feel like, and this is my opinion, you can take it, maybe educate us. When we went to Somalia, we did fuck them up. So, in my opinion, I feel like some parts of the system is like, whoa, you know, we went over there and with 80 people and fucked up thousands of people, so now we owe them. Do you feel like that's how the United States feels? I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Well, I feel that immigration is tricky, and I feel like it's an unintentional byproduct of what happened starting with Black Hawk Down. So I don't think it was a forethought where we're going to go in and do this to this country and then this outcome is, you know, we're going to get a bunch of Somalians in Minnesota. I don't think it's that way. I think it has just led to the opportunity for corruption. And that was the driving force. It's not, you know what I mean? Like anybody that can find a way to, if you look at the Somalian culture, if you don't screw people over, you're looked as weak. So it's in their culture to take advantage of the government. That's the way they're raised, to get every nickel they can out of the government. And so what do you think is going to happen when they come here? And our government, it's much easier to get over than it is in Somalia. So it's like a cash cow over here. You know what I mean? So it's just a byproduct of that. So they don't assimilate to our values, our culture, our way of being as a United States citizen. They carry over their culture and bring it here. That's why, I mean, when I lived in Minnesota, you know, my dad's from there, and
I forgot about that. Yeah,
and it is, you can't deal with the Somalians. Like, they are their own culture. They hate everybody that's not Somalian, and their way of living is to screw people over because they came from nothing. And to get something, you had to screw people over or connive or steal or find a way around the system. That's how they live. So, you know, what do you think is going to happen when you get 50,000 Somalians in a small area? They're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, and it's ironic, and I want to kind of switch it over to what just happened in this incident, that, you know, the dude lost his life, whatever, because that happened right next to the Leering censor. That fucking shooting literally just happened around that area, and it's just like, it's either a coincidence, ironic, or whatever. So,
well, the more I look at that video, the more I see that they disarmed that guy.
They did.
They did, and they shot an unarmed man.
I agree.
But what happened was when they disarmed the guy that took the pistol discharged a round. He mishandled the firearm and discharged a round, and then people around, they thought it was the suspect. And so that's why they shot him. So was that shot fired off intentionally?
I just think, like, I'll let you have it in a second, Henry, but like when he took that firearm and walked away, he should have informed his fucking brethren, like, yo, it's secure, whatever. That didn't happen. I just saw a video.
First thing you do is say gun, gun, gun. I mean, I know that, you know, that you have to announce that you're disarming or you found a gun. He has a gun. That's something that they immediately say. But these poor guys that are in ICE aren't trained like professional police officers. They're just any Joe off the street and go get sworn in. You know what I mean? So their training is minimal. So, you know, they, like the old saying, they failed to plan, so they plan to fail. You know, it's going to be bad things. And they try to compare it to that kid who had the AR-15 at the protest. And it's two totally different situations. Like, they got the white guy carrying a gun. Oh, this is okay. I mean, you see a post, I see it on Facebook at least 10 times a day where they got a picture of that kid with the AR who shot that, was a black kid he shot, I think. It was a black kid.
There's 3 people he shot. He killed one
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Well, so they're trying to compare that situation to this situation, and it's like apples and oranges. I'm not saying that kid was right or did the right thing or should have been there with that. I'm not justifying anything, but you can't compare the two situations. This was an intentional. This person went to a rally with a firearm. I don't know if he had a permit or not. Who said
Yeah,
that?
he did. What do you think, Moat?
He had a concealed permit?
Yeah, he did. But what do you
Alright.
think about that, Henry?
Well, let's reverse a little bit, rewind a little bit. I will agree and disagree on certain situations. Okay. Whether the guy discharged or whatever, he shouldn't have never put himself in that situation, but he did. That was a choice. Just like everybody else. They all make these choices. Again, if I'm in the hood, I see this group of drug dealers and I know they're bad, I will walk around the
I know.
block before I get to my house to avoid them.
Yeah, and then actually fired it off. Mhm. Yeah. Sorry, my wife's chiming in.
All good.
That's good. That's
Hi,
good.
Lauren.
But
And see, and her and I, we're total opposites. She's Democrat, I'm a Republican.
Shocker.
that's fun. That's real fun.
Well, we can still all love each other. I mean, we don't have to
Oh, yeah.
fucking,
I'm still married to her.
All right, Henry, continue. What were you saying?
So I believe that people are purposely putting themselves in a situation that they don't have to be in. Okay. Just something that I read an article the other day, and they were talking about the amount of illegals that are here. Just so you guys know, in Minnesota, it is nowhere near the millions, nowhere like other states. Minnesota has the least immigration. And just by what Jason was explaining as to why, well, not why, but the type of immigration that's in there is interesting. Because I'm going to look that up. I'm going to do some research on that because I find that really interesting because this is a whole different race. Don't forget, when ICE first came out, it was to fix Biden's mistake of like, I'm going to let all these people come in from Mexico. So in the beginning, I was caught off guard and I was under the impression, oh, they after Mexicans. Oh, shit. Whoa. Whatever. Okay. But, as far as all these shootings that are going on, okay, like I'm not fully aware of what the kid did or whatever the case is. My thing is this, okay? Right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about what happened to Renee Good, what happened to this guy shooting. Now we got the kid shooting. I'm not even aware of that. Why? Because I'm hearing about Renee Good, and now I'm going to hear about this guy. But you know what? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I believe there is more to this than what we're looking at, what we're listening to, what's happening. Just a couple of months ago, we had the Charlie Kirk assassination, but they were digging up dirt about it, and here we are with the ICE situation. See, people forgot about the Charlie Kirk. I always think that the government, they're covering something up. Something's kind of gonna come out other than this ICE business. People are forgetting that Trump got the guy from Venezuela. Yeah, okay, from Venezuela.
Maduro.
Yeah, Maduro. Okay, it's almost forgotten. Nobody's talking about that no more. And you got to be careful. People get so mesmerized, brainwashed just by what's happening because ICE is here. They're here, hands down. They're not going nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? So that is what everybody's reporting on. And Jason, so you could catch up on this, when I put the post, my own friends were saying, "Oh, well, that's your opinion, but we got facts." I'm like, "What facts? Media? What you're hearing on the news?" No, dude.
But they won't come on here and discuss it. That's the thing.
Just
have a
saying.
conversation.
Just saying, because I would love to hear it. Everybody has opinion, and I was heavily hurt that they try to say that Vic, okay, is a Trump supporter. He's for Trump. He never said anything about that. All he said was, produce the facts. All right, you Trump lover. I'm like, what? Listen, this is my opinion. Again, don't get offended. Trump has nothing to do with this, okay? All he's doing is pushing it, because when it comes to the deportation statistics, Trump has baby numbers compared to what Barack did, what Bush did, what Clinton did. They're in the 3, 4, 5 millions, while Trump is at what is it? 1.5, I think it is.
Well, yeah. So really quick, let me ask Jay a question, because you surprised me at what you said, because there's so much information going out there. Like people are just not thinking logically. I think we're all in agreement that what the ICE officers did was just like, they should be fired. They were justified legally, in my opinion, because of the situation and how fast it went on. But like, dude, you're just gonna start shooting someone from a misunderstanding. There was a video that I saw earlier of the Orlando Police Department. This was about 7 months ago, where they detained someone, took the knife off of him. Just same situation, bro. They took the knife off of the guy. They didn't shoot him. They just arrested him. In this situation, dude, I feel like they all panicked and got scared. And what Jay was saying, I'm going to look into that. I didn't know like a round went off, and it does make sense. Once you hear one round go off, people are going to start shooting.
Yes.
So really quick, if the police officers were there to control the crowd, which they're fucking trained to do, and the Minnesota, the governor and the mayor is saying our officers are trained to do this, ICE isn't. Yes, that's why your officers should be there, to be a buffer, to fucking allow ICE to hunt and gather and not deal with the fucking crowd. Jay, first of all, if we're on a job site, all right, and you have someone that's rambunctious towards customers, you're not going to let them talk to the fucking customer. You're going to say, go to the corner and fucking edge or whatever you're doing. I'll deal with the customers. That's what Jay was there for, to charm the customers and talk to them. But if you just let anyone just talk to your clientele, you're not going to make money, because they're going to say something wrong or whatever. The police officers should have been there, period. That shit would have never fucking happened. How do you feel about that, Jay?
The police department's under orders not to assist ICE.
That's disgusting. How do you feel about that?
I was just going to dive into that. Hold on, Jason. I was just going to dive into that. Okay. I have seen videos of riots where the police is involved. None of that happens. Okay. So, as Jason said, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I've always wondered that. You guys know that if ICE is out there, there's protesting already. Why aren't the police out there? Because they seem to get more respect than ICE. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they out there saying, hey, get out of the street, man, before I take you in, jaywalking or whatever?
That's the point.
Whatever the law is. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, because they want something to happen.
Thank you.
Bingo.
Thank you.
Simple fucking answer. That's it.
That's it. But you know what, Jason? You will get bashed for that. You're a Trump supporter. You don't know. The LGBTQ is now involved in all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I could not believe that the Renee Good's wife, or whatever she is going to be entitled to $1.5 million fucking dollars when she said, drive, baby, drive. Like, are you serious, bro? What are
Well,
we?
money comes and goes. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes and goes. Money is not gonna what people misunderstand, and this is I'm glad you mentioned that. Jay, you remember Link, right? Link
Yeah.
Terry?
Yeah.
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 You know, the shit that he was talking yesterday was just like unfucking believable how he came at me. And my thing is just like, you're gonna friend request me. I accept your friend request. What, for you could stalk me and just disagree with what I have to say? And it's not a disagreement. But this dude, literally, I want to show you what he said in fact. Because this is
I
the
didn't see that.
main. Did you see it? No?
No.
Look at this. I want you to see this for yourself. Because this is how far people are willing to take shit. And it's really fucking sad because, people are so. Hold on. Let's see. Let's put that away. Let's go to my profile. I want you to see this for yourself. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So check this out. No, this is old. Old. So I put a post out to sum it up. So if law enforcement cannot protect yourself to shoot someone, blah, 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 blah. And I made a video after that. You know, you have to defend yourself. But this is the fucking crazy part. Trump would probably let you guys suck his dick if you asked him. Fucking tools. And then Kenny started responding, whatever. You could read all of this yourself, because this is definitely alcohol talking. Laughing my ass off. I'll be seeing you around, Vic. That's a proclamation for violence, which is fucking stupid. I don't even know why you would even try to be violent against me for me having an opinion. 45-year-old fucking DoorDasher, and I'm ignorant. If I reported your ass to ICE, they'd shoot your brown ass too. You're gonna stand up for them? And it's just like, dude, we've gone so far out of touch of humanity.
But dude,
that's how far these motherfuckers are taking this shit for having an opinion. So now I'm a brown dude. Like,
listen.
That don't sound racist at all.
This is the problem. Nobody is standing up for them. We're just standing up for what's right and what's smart and what you need to do. Okay? It's all right to protest. That's like, to this day, Black people are like, oh, we were slaves. Okay, what happened to what Martin Luther King did?
They weren't slaves, though.
No. But that's what they believe. 400, well, at this point, 500 years ago, we were slaves. Well, what happened with what Martin Luther King did? You know what I'm saying? How about starting from there and move on over? Okay. But here we are. We're living in remember how I called the Vic? If you don't know, Jason, I call this United States of Borderlands because every state has their rules. Okay. Here we are living in a country that has lost so much control to their people. Why? Because why did us three go to Mexico, live there for a year, become citizens, and climb over the wall and get all the benefits in the world that we want?
No, you could be an American citizen, leave the country without permission, because that's all it is, and come back. People have already experimented on this. You can go to YouTube and find them. They crossed the border, came back as American white citizens, and got detained for 3 days, bro. Imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a true fucking story. They experimented on that.
Well, don't forget, years ago, 2 Americans went to London, okay, and the wife was pregnant, and she wound up having a baby in London, and they said, hey, the baby can't come, but you guys can. Can you imagine that? You know what I'm saying? But here we are allowing these people to come in, you know, and as South Park put it, they're taking our jobs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they get housed, they get benefits, they get college funds, they get everything out there. Meanwhile, I got missing teeth, you know, I'm going through health problems and I got to pay for everything right out of my pocket. You know, how is that fair? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. But what I'm trying to say is this is we got criminals over here, period. Like I said in my post, did you forget what happened in New York? You had a group of people that attacked cops. They did get arrested and they were let go that same night. If either it was the same night or the next day, and they fled the state. They got immigrants or illegals, let me just say illegals, that killed people and fled the state. You know what I'm saying? Like Minnesota, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you know, I think I said it before, but just a reminder, you know, every state is in the millions, but Minnesota is like 100,000 or whatever illegals that are there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know where they get the statistics from because I look at it like this. If you're illegal, I don't know how you say, you know, I'm from another country or whatever the case is. But, you know, they're just breaking down the criminals first. Now, Vic, if you're illegal, oh, no, I'll do Jason. Jason, you're an illegal, okay? You get detained, but your wife is like, no, no, no. They're going to take her too, okay? Now, just a fun fact. I saw this today, which I think is golden, okay? The ICE has a database that you and I can get on. I don't know if you guys know this. You and I can get on to see if, hey, Jason called out of work for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? He's really sick. You can get on the database to find out if Jason was protesting for those 2 days of sick or if he was really sick. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. They're putting all your dirt out there. So if us three said, yo, let's call out of work and protest, man, fuck this, you know, your job is going to know that that's just what we did. And
all right. No, yeah. So Jay, I want your opinion for the whole world to see because it's important that we use our voice. How do you feel about illegal immigration? What's your stance?
Well, I mean, I fought for this country, so if you're gonna come here, you gotta do it the right way.
Yep.
You know, plain and simple. I didn't die so somebody going. I didn't sign up for my life, go to war so many times just so. I mean, you talk about how all these legals get all these benefits. Well, look at I know way more vets that don't have shit, and they get treated worse than the immigrants do.
Yes, they
And
do.
I tell you right now, bring this up. So the last time this country was so divided, you know who was president? They divided this bad.
Obama. I already know. Yeah.
No, no.
Really?
It was Lincoln. It was Lincoln. And what happened during Lincoln's term? Not that he got assassinated. What was going on?
I don't know.
The Civil War.
Oh, well,
yes,
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
and so
that's what we're heading to right now.
Well, hold on, Henry. Well, so that's very impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jay.
Well,
I'm sorry, Henry. That's how
you get this change is that you divide the country so badly, like it was with the North and the South. Now it's Republican, Democrat. It's just different names with the same thing, and it gets divided so much that there becomes a civil war to end it because you can't get along. People can't get along. They can't talk about it. They can't figure it out. And so only way to fix the problem is with a civil war.
Yeah. So really quick, Jay, I have a quote on one of my rap songs. Obviously, you know, I'm a rapper. It's the path to, and Henry, obviously, the path to peace is ultra violent. I've always said that in my music. So it's interesting what you're saying because What I won't accept is that there is no right or wrong. There is a right and a wrong. So, when the Civil War took place, there was a right and a wrong, and what brings us here right now. So, I won't accept that people throwing temper tantrums like fucking toddlers that won't even jump on this stream right now. All these people that were talking shit, bad mouthing, everyone's iced in. There's nothing else to do, but no one else is here. It just seems like it's not confusing, it's cowardly that you're gonna just chime in on my post, talk so much shit, but now when it comes to actually having a conversation, everyone is silent.
Well, yeah, because there's only one side, and it goes for both sides. You get the extreme left and the extreme right. And then when you get to those extremes, there is no negotiating. It's their way or the highway. And that's what leads, I'm telling you, to civil war. Wait until people like the Proud Boys and everybody like that start showing up.
I know, and that's
to these protests that are, to go against the protest against ICE. It's going to happen. That's what it's all leading up to, and it's going to get to a boiling point where, people say that we won't. Civil War, we killed the shit out of each other. Millions of people died in the Civil War, and that was fighting
against
ugly. And that was fighting against ourselves. We were our own common enemy, and that's what's happening now. Is that we're being driven to a position where if you don't agree with my opinion, you're wrong, and it's on both sides. I'm not saying left or right; it's on both sides. That with the gender equality and transgender this, and then immigration, there's people that are going to be on both sides that you can't change their mind. And voting doesn't do it. So the first thing that's happened is same thing with Lincoln, is they discredited the election. So that's what they did with Lincoln. The South didn't agree with him being president. It was on split along party lines, the same way. And that is going to drive us to a civil war. And I see it. I think it's just inevitable. That's the only way. It's like the fuse has been lit, and it's not going to end until one side is standing over the other side.
Now, really quick before I know, Henry, you have I know you have a lot to unpack. Just give me 1 second. So just really quick, Jay, you're a father, all right? And you're a good father. Yo, Jay's a fun father. I'm just telling you. Like, this dude is, his kids are amazing. As far as what I knew when I was there to experience it. And just him fathering. Hold on. Even when I was my age and he was his age at that time, like, he fathered people. Okay. So the importance of that is that all of the nation comes from within the home. If you don't have a steady home, you don't have a fucking steady nation. So what I'm going to ask you really quick, Jay, and I'm going to let you have it, Henry. Just give me 1 second. Your house is ran by a democracy or a dictatorship?
Oh, my wife's a dictator.
I can see that, yeah.
Well, look, I learned a long time ago, and when I married Lauren, I had a talk with my uncle, who was the guy that carried the football for president. So he was the Marine. He was.
Is that the people that we moved in? I forget.
Yeah, Terry
and he's the one, really quick, so just so you know, my memory is on point. He's the one that told you if I told you the truth about the world, you wouldn't believe me or you would be terrified. One of those two.
You wouldn't believe me. Like,
there you go. Okay.
It was more about aliens and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to, but go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. And he was also a Blue Angel pilot. He was a test pilot for the Harrier.
Yo, Henry, really quick, Jay. His uncle has a picture of carrying Ronald Reagan's files.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jason
he
has
he
a
actually carried.
frame, really quick, Jay. I just want to say it before you say it. He
Yeah,
has a frame of the ingredients of food that his wife used to eat, something like that.
yeah, that was Reagan. Yeah, he had a
Got you.
Nancy's
Nancy,
recipe.
yep, there you go.
Well,
Just
so
so
he
you know
told
who you're
me
talking to, Henry.
a
Yes.
full bird Marine colonel. So he told me one thing in life, that there always has to be an ultimate authority. If somebody doesn't have ultimate authority, then nothing gets done. So there has to be, if you're in an argument, there has to be one person that says, I hear you, but this is the way we're going to do it. And we don't
Yeah.
have that. Trump is that way. You know, he is. That's why he's so successful on the international stage. We're going to get Greenland. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's going to happen because it's the best thing for Greenland that could ever happen. They have 50,000 residents in Greenland. That's it, 50,000. Like Virginia Beach has more people than Greenland. You know what I mean? And so for us to open up their country to tourism, the minerals they have, there's great wealth that can come from it, just like Alaska. So we acquired Alaska. All those people get paid for living there. Just for living there, you get paid and you get mineral rights, all the oil that gets shipped out of Alaska. Every person that lives in Alaska gets cut a check every month. And so if I got off track. So the ultimate authority thing, there has to be somebody who makes the decision. And with all these people on the left, there isn't somebody that's making a decision. It's just mob mentality. And they think that's their way to get back in the White House, is to sow so much discord and discontent and hatred for each other that their votes will show up. Another too big to rig kind of is what they're going for. So I hope we don't bring any charges against anybody for that stuff in Minnesota, the governor. I hope we don't bring anything against Newsom and the stuff he's doing in California, because all that's going to do is launch their platform and make them even more popular on the Republican side. And if they get back in office, look at Virginia right now. Look at everything that this lady has put into the act, all the spending that she's done. Like our taxes are going up to 18%.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You know what I mean? It's a done deal already, you know? And so they're like, what's what's mine is mine, and they're like, what's yours is mine. And so it's gonna hit a boiling point. I'm telling you, in our lifetime, I would say within the next 10 years, we're gonna see some kind of real civil unrest. And it's gonna you think it's ugly now. It's gonna be the ugliest thing you ever seen in your life. I have seen countries that are that way, where you got two factions fighting against each other in the same country. And I mean, they're killing women, children, babies, all kinds of stuff. So there is no limit to what a human will do, no matter how bad you think it is or how evil it is. There's no limit to what people will do, and it's just going to be that way. So, and I can't say Trump's right, Trump's wrong, Obama was right, this wrong, because I look at it this way: it's got the left wing and the white ring, but it's the same bird flying around. So we're on it for a ride, and the ride is not in our best interest. It's a self-serving interest. That's why you don't have term limits. That's why people can give their own raises in Congress and the Senate. They can vote for whatever they want for themselves. They got unlimited health care. They don't care about our health care. They got the best health care in the world, and they get it for life. And even I was saying about veterans, when you get out, you're done. You're cut off. Boom. You don't get treatment for mental illness or physical illness or something. You got to fight. I'm in the middle of fighting for my disability right now. I was part of the burn pits. So I was breathing in all that diesel fuel that was burning and all the stuff that they were burning. Like I had to breathe that shit in. And I have to fight for them to help me out in just the littlest way. And
Thank
so
you.
people like me,
Thank you.
or people that are like me but not like me, people that have more of a trigger. Like I've learned to control myself. But there's other Marines out there that I know that are like ready to pick up their guns and go defend the ICE agent, like plain and simple. Like they're You're going to protest with signs. We're coming with guns. And it's what's going to you watch. There's going to be a protest that comes out. Proud Boys or somebody of that faction who is on the big right, far right. They're going to go down and make it. They're tired of it, and they're the silent majority. You look at all the voting that goes on, like in Virginia, we went red because of Northern Virginia. 90% of the state, blue. We went blue because of Northern Virginia. 90% of the state was red. If you look at the map and the voting zones and everything that voted, almost everybody was Republican. But up north with Washington and their numbers, outside of DC and all that area, they are the ones that control the election who got in Virginia. And so the silent majority is going to get fed up. It's going to break up.
I agree. How do you feel about that, Mode?
What he said just blew my mind. It opened it up.
And that's why it's important to talk.
Way more. Okay. 100% that was deep. Okay. Because the way I look at it, okay, he went as far back as Lincoln in the Civil War. Okay. Let's think about this for a minute, folks. Okay. I knew, and what Jason was saying makes sense. I knew that there was a reason why the gun law changed. Now we can all carry guns. Now we can all have this and that. It's a movement. And he's right. It's going to lead to back to like cowboys and Indians type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, right now we don't have an abundance of shootings going on. We do have it. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is the number is not high. It's not that high where it's like, oh, we got to change that law again. Okay. So what you're saying, Jason, is we're leading towards that. Now, I'm a little more skeptical on it. You're saying 10 years. I'm thinking sooner. It's getting there. It's getting there right now. I was telling Vic the other day, it won't be too long before all these gun-carrying people, okay, will start eventually starting shooting. Like ICE is coming through. Yo, just shoot the damn car. Fuck them. They kill us. We're going to kill them. That's how it all starts, And I've always been a firm believer over the course of years, since the Twin Towers, everything. I really believe that this country is going into a population control. There's a lot of people here. Okay. If I was in a different country, like, God, I can't deal with this democracy no more. I'm going to the United States so I can be free. That's just how they think. But they come here and just wreak havoc, because they come here with their culture, which is okay. Don't get me wrong. They could come here with their culture, but some of these countries are wild. You got people who got to have 10 wives. You got people who beat their wives.
You can have 13-year-old wives.
Exactly. So, they're here doing that because they believe in the freedom of the United States. United States, united is the key word, okay, is just people of all cultures, people of, all foreigners, whatever. You come in here and take the freedom, but don't bring your country over here. If your country's messed up over there, you can't bring it over here. And all that has been happening in the course of years. Over the years, people are just bringing in this vile, violent culture, and all we have to do, like you, Vic, everybody, we have to just adapt, like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever, so on and so on. You know what I mean? Like, I live my days aware. That's what I do. I walk outside and I'm like, I don't know what today is going to bring. I remember, I work at a mall. As Vic knows, Jason, I work at a mall, and I'll never forget. There was a day that people came in, people came inside and they were face covered robe and all that. And automatically, people that worked there, they were like, "Oh my God, what are they're gonna bomb them all?" I was like, "Damn, yeah, that's just their culture." You know, like, come on, man. They're just here shopping in America, if you will, but it is their culture. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think is gonna happen? We don't respect you, man. You're gonna bomb the place. You know? Everybody starts to feel unwanted. They start to develop this attitude, and we get all messed up by this. You know what I'm saying? Whether we call it racism or whatever it is. But, Jason, you hit it on the point. We are heading to some more serious stuff. And if people don't see it and catch on to it, nobody's going to change. They're not. I really enjoyed the fact that you brought up Lincoln. Like that blew my mind. I was like, oh, sweat. Yeah, that's right. A civil war came out of this, and that's what we're heading to right now. And, you mentioned all the stuff about the gender stuff. Even that's getting out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Because even with all those videos I watch, articles that I read, I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on with this world? Like, us three, we should band together and do what the fuck we want, man. Just go out there and reach out.
Well, yeah, really quick. I think the biggest problem that all three of us have is that we're thinking about our children. And a lot of these people that are out there fucking walling out do not have children.
And don't want them. Like it's a systematic motion that the government has done. If you look at the education system, it has made everybody stupid. I was watching a video the other day where they were just asking people, what body of water is off of California? What's the name of it?
Christ. Jesus.
And they had no idea. They had no idea. And it was a simple question about people you should know. You should know stuff about your country. You know what I mean? Like, and that's some basic stuff, like where the Pacific Ocean is. So the nation is so dumbed down. They took away core leading programs. The schools are designed to push people out that go to a factory, pull a lever all day long, clock out, and go home. That's what the education system has been putting out there. And the byproduct of that has been everybody can be fooled into anything. They don't teach critical thinking. That's why my kids go to private school. So
no, I know. I fucking wish, bro.
They don't teach it at all. So now what you have is you have a bunch of ignorant people, and I'm talking on both sides. Like country as a whole, we have a bunch of ignorant people that fall for anything. And so the best way for the government to control the population is to have the population in unrest. So if you have unrest, and it's just like being able to send federal agents in the states and take it over, that is how you do it. You cause civil unrest, then the government has to step in, and now your state rights don't matter anymore because it's a federal thing, and that's how you change the rule of the land. And I hate to say it, but Trump, willing or unwilling, or a pawn, or somebody that is doing what he's doing, and it's in a byproduct. This is a byproduct of what he's doing, and it's heading one way because you can convince anybody of anything these days. And if people really believe that you're like a Nazi, and you say that somebody's a Nazi, people are going to believe it, and they don't even know what the fuck a Nazi is.
Well, I'm the first Puerto Rican Nazi I've ever seen.
Chris is on point. Crazy. Hold on. Chris is on point with that.
Jason.
Chris. Christensen.
Yeah.
I said Chris. I see his name.
Christ.
My camera was in the way, and I saw Chris. That's funny. Sorry, Jason.
You're good.
Jason is on point with what he said.
100%.
Unfortunately, with AI and social media, fake posts, fake this and that, the youth is being conditioned, brainwashed, call it whatever you want, okay, to believe that this is how we are supposed to be. Like,
Well, it's fed by like Facebook because it learns your algorithm and it
uh-huh.
feeds you the information you want to read, not necessarily the facts that are out there. So it's going to cater to your individual fears, your likes, whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's going to stoke all those areas, and it's a computer that's done figured you out. So
Well,
that's why when you talk on you, man, I really want to buy that such and such, and all of a sudden it pops up on your Facebook, and you're getting feeds over and over again. You didn't, or if you Google search something. So like right now, I'm in marketing. I'm entering a marketing agency that is going to market my insurance company, and that's all they talked about was algorithms. Well, we got to get you in the right algorithm. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you followers, then we'll get you followers of that are people that are looking for insurance or of that age group, and then they'll follow, and then it'll just spread like wildfire. So like minds, we're like a hive. Like minds think alike. And what social media has done is it been able to polarize both sides. So it feeds one side everything they want to hear. It feeds the other side everything they want to hear. And then nobody's ever going to get along because they're not seeing anything different. So why not act that way?
that's very interesting because me and Vic always go back and forth with that. 2 years ago, maybe a little longer, Vic, I don't know. I told Vic, I'm a video connoisseur. I watch cop videos, government videos, whatever, you know what I mean? And I always analyze everything I watch. And when AI first started, I always told Vic, be careful what you watch. It's fake. And I always hinted to him and told him this is what you got to look for, you know? And I told him in the next couple of years, it's going to advance where you just be like, oh, sweat, word. But me, no. I see every blemish, every mistake, to the voice, to everything, still to this day. AI has gotten to a point where it's very, very convincing. Me, I got to a point where, like, well, the voice is off. It sounds like they're in a hallway. That's fake, because what AI is doing is showing police brutality. I already saw my first fake AI video with the Renee Good situation. Like I guess what somebody wanted to have it happen. You know what I'm saying? And we are just simply brainwashed, and that's what it is. We're older. We're much older to get caught into that. But you know what? Your kid, Victor, your child, will not. They could be sitting down there like, oh my God, this is
Oh,
happening.
I've caught her a bunch of times, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
100. Yeah, I
happens.
tell her like, hey, no, so let's close this discussion out. Because you are right what you're saying. Just one simple question to the both of yous. How confident are you? And we'll start with Henry and then we'll go to Jay. How confident are you with just the general stability of this country? Where do you think we're going to be in 5 years? That's it. Just curious.
Brother man, we're done.
Considering everything that's going on, AI, ICE, the president, the leadership. Let's execute the president. Let's not even talk like the leadership. Where do you think we're going to be in 5 years? And this is, excuse me, in 2 years, because we got 2028, the next presidency. Where do you think we're going to be?
I strongly believe that we're not going to go through 4-year terms with presidency. I believe that one man is going to try to control the country. They're going to try to be like China, Russia, whatever, London.
Dictatorship.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that if we allow our children to continue to watch these fake videos or whatever, whatever's this out there, the algorithm, as Jason said, okay, I believe it's our kids that can either make the difference or follow the lie.
But where do you think we're going to be?
You know what?
Honestly.
I'm going to be honest. for me, it's way too early to see it. But I'm with Jason on this one. We are going to head into a civil war. Okay.
Okay.
Well, if they want to call it civil war, but there'll be a new name. You know, it's like, just to get off topic real quick, Leo. Oh my God, a storm's coming. We're gonna die. Oh, it's not even a blizzard. Like what the hell? Like I've been in snowstorms where it's waist deep. Are you kidding me? 30 inches? Really? Come on, that's knee deep. You know, like, but you know, like the way social media and the news is depicting everything, they're trying to scare us. Or not you, Vic, not you, Jason. They're scaring our kids, teenagers, people under 30 because they're so involved with the fake stuff that's out there. They're like, oh my God, we're gonna die. We better go get toilet paper. Rah! You know what I'm saying? Like it's like give me a break already, bro. But we are simply doomed. Okay. Like if I could move to another country that's sane, I will go. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like here, we're done, man. We're done. We are heading to a quiet war, if that makes sense.
Is
You know
that
what I
your
mean?
final conclusion?
Yes.
Okay, Jay, go ahead.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. First of all, the Democrats are going to sweep midterms, and then they're going to immediately launch impeach against Trump. And a little known fact that if they impeach Trump out of the presidency, that gives him the ability to run again.
Yep.
Did you know that?
Yep.
I
He
did
could
not
run.
know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that that is what's gonna be the trigger, is that Trump's gonna, I mean, is he planning on wanting them to give him impeachment so it can happen? Is he playing chess like that? I don't know. You know, but that could mean 8 more years of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So,
More.
and what's going to happen is we're going to be thrown basically while we're in unrest and fighting amongst each other. China and Russia are going to go to war with us.
Yep.
Plain and simple. And they're going to go to war financially. They're going to break us on trade. They're going to break us on other stuff. They can't
Pretty
invade.
much a bloodless war is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
and it's going to
Yeah.
be through technology. So like, people freak out over a snowstorm. Imagine if the power grid goes down for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's simple computer hacking right there. You don't even need to drop a bomb. You could just hack into it. And our infrastructure is weak as shit. It's so outdated. And, you know, just think about it. So we get some civil unrest going, we're fighting amongst each other. We're not going to have any strength to fight against anybody else or have commonality where the House and the Senate would agree. Like, yeah, you know what? Russia and China are fucking up. We need to do this. It's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to come together and make a decision with each other because everybody wants the other side to be wrong. And it's not about wrong or right. It's about do or don't. And so we're going to get to a point where we can't do anymore. Like, we won't be able to do anything. And that's going to be our weakest. That's going to be our weakest moment. And people like China, they play 500-year games. They don't think about, oh, we got to do this while Trump's president. Like their ruler is in power because they're in power forever. And so they play generational games, not just what's going to happen next month. Oh, you know, Venezuela, bring up Venezuela. You know, we took that guy. You know that, I think it was Obama that was the one that put the arrest warrant out for him. So
I do know that. Yeah.
There was a bounty on his head because of Obama. Trump went and got him. Same thing with that other terrorist. Went and got him. You know what I mean? And so he's a doer, and they don't like that. You know, the establishment doesn't like it. Both sides don't like it. They don't like that he does what he wants to do. He's not controllable, and that is the big fear factor with you know, the left. They can't control it like they control everything else. Like you gotta call me a he, she, you know, them. I never got to them, they, them. I never got they, them because now you're talking in plurals. And what do you got, schizophrenic? You know what I mean? Like you can't be a they
Straight
and them.
up. And really quick, Jay, it's and I'll let you have it mode 1 second. You're not like making a 100% prediction, but the probability of what you're talking about is very high, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I know that we're gonna go to civil war. Like I've
Oh,
been
for
thinking it
sure.
for,
Yeah.
I've been thinking it for a long time. And once 9/11 was the big mistake. They did the 9/11 actually united us, and it didn't drive us apart. So now you have conspiracy theories. There's got to be a way to drive a wedge between everybody. And that you rule that way. If nobody can get along and nobody can agree on anything, well then whoever's in charge is in charge. But there's nothing you can do about it because nobody agrees on anything.
Yep.
And so there's no way to change anything if everybody can't become like-minded. And that's how this country was founded, was like-minded people getting away from oppression with like minds and like ideas. And now everybody's idea is okay. And that's not okay. Everybody's idea is not okay. I mean, in Minnesota, they're looking to pass Sharia law. How can you have Sharia law in the United States? It goes against our Constitution.
Absolutely, dude.
You know, and so
That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful what you said, because you know what? You know, people forget about history. You taught me that just now. People forget about history. If Bloomberg paid millions of dollars to consider to continue his mayorship, just saying, man, why can't you do it as the president? You know what I mean? It's interesting what you said, the impeachment, you know, and he could do it all over
Hey,
again.
really quick, you guys talk it out. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
All right, I got to get to I got to go, Vic. My wife is like, get over here and take care of the kids. It's homework time.
Uh-oh.
All right. No, that's fine.
I told you who the
Nice
ruler
meeting you,
was, right?
Jason, man.
Yo, Jay, I love you for coming here. I love you
Yeah.
in general. I'll see
I
you
love you
soon,
too, man.
brother.
I miss your face, and it was
I
nice meeting you,
appreciate
man.
that. All right, likewise.
Stay blessed.
All right,
out
Mode, you stick around.
All right. I'm gonna run to the bathroom too.
All right, run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Try to pause your screen if you can. No big deal if you can't. Don't worry about it. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna eat, yeah. I'm fucking hungry. Yeah, my last meal after before 12. Yeah. Are you done? Almost. You picked up a little everything from me. Are you done? I know he said you pee. I peed. Oh. Oh shit, man.
We came back at the same time.
Oh yeah, man. Quick pee.
Hey, great discussion. I am so like happy that we were able to bring other people in and have their own opinions. I think you did very well. He did well as
Dude, I
well.
was nervous, bro. When he chimed in, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and you know what? We need to be contested on our thoughts. It's
Well,
important.
you know what? Dude, man, he went as far back as Lincoln, bro. And I was like, whoa. You know, like I knew what he was. I didn't know where he was going at with, you know, but I didn't when Lincoln was president. We did go into a civil war. If I'm not mistaken, that's when the Confederate flag was born. Okay.
From my understanding as
Yeah.
well, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, man, he was very, you know, it was interesting because his knowledge I took into heavy consideration considering he was in the military. You know what I'm saying? So he must have seen shit that we don't see. You know what I mean? So you know, all in all, it was good. It was great talking to him, bro. I'm being honest, man. You know, like, you know, I like how he said his wife is the dictator. All wives are, but anyway, you know,
You heard that right, Michaela.
she heard it. She heard it. You know, but you
No,
know,
Jay is good people, man. He's the reason why I stayed in Virginia. He sheltered me, like fed me, bro. It was bad. When I left New York and came from Kentucky, it was bad. But I guess the main point was reaching out to other people, right? That's
yeah,
what we want to do.
yeah.
We want to open the dialogue, see other people's opinions, and he did shock me. Well, when he was defending the dude that got shot, that was shocking to me, and that's what I want to hear.
Well,
I
no,
need
no,
to.
you know, he opened up my mind because, you know, the Renee Good case, there was a lot to elaborate on. This case, there's not a lot to elaborate on. Did that shot come because they were disarming him and another person just took it upon themselves, like, oh my God, he's shooting, pop, 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 pop. You know,
Nah, you know, like
who
the
knows?
Renee Good is an open close in my opinion, but this
Yeah,
one,
no, I
nah,
agree,
bro.
dude. I agree
Yeah,
with you, bro. But you know, again, you know, you don't go into a fight that you're not invited to, bro. Hands down. I hate to say it, you know. Um,
I agree.
if you want to record, but don't engage, man. That's the problem with people. People think they know the law or something like that. You know, read up a little bit more on it, man. These people, leave them alone. If they're driving through, leave them alone. But my problem is that depending on who it is, I've seen ICE agents that ignore, and then I see ICE agents that engage. Maybe they should engage, just go with the flow, bro. But you know what? That's like
Henry, just hold on really quick. Just bring it back to the beginning of your post, okay? I'm not gonna fucking climb into a wolf enclosure and try to fucking pet them. That ends the fucking whole conversation right there. But people wanna like engage in like, what do you mean? What if the wolf is nice? What if the wolf is declawed? What if the wolf has his teeth shaved? What the fuck are you talking about? Henry, you said it perfectly and beautifully in the beginning. And
listen.
then if no one wants to understand,
Bottom line
why
is
didn't you
this.
jump on here to talk? We've been on
Bot,
here for hours. Where is everyone?
bottom line is this. Nobody came forward. They had a lot to say.
Jay did.
No, no, and I appreciate that. By far, I appreciate that. But you know what? My post, I hate to say it, hate me, I don't care. It was perfectly planned. I gave an example, gave my opinion, and everybody was like, oh, you know, it's an opinion, but this is the facts. Like, no, it's not the facts, bro. It's
Come
not.
here right now.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the facts, and everybody, I don't know why they beat the hell out of you, you know, which doesn't make sense because they don't know you. You know, again, in my post, look up the word opinion. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you love Trump, you suck dick, you know, you're a piece of shit, you're trying to get likes. whatever the case is, man.
I'm
Come on,
I'm a
guys.
45-year-old Door Dasher.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't know I was 45.
Yeah, nor did I. When I saw that, I was like 45. Like, okay, well, all right, Mister. You know,
But really quick, Henry, like I actually love my job. I genuinely enjoy doing it. I've been delivering pizzas since you've known me, or like way before.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
you've known me before that. I've
yeah.
been delivering food. Look, I have my own business that I'm about to launch. That is an alternative to DoorDash. So
Yep,
when
yep.
people are like, "Yeah, DoorDash and your deliveries," the only people who bash people like that are the ones that are truly unhappy. Because could you ever just think about this really quick, and I'll let you have it. I'm sorry. Think about this. You, as Henry, would you ever? I couldn't even imagine that you would, but would you ever bash someone else for their career? No, because you're
Absolutely
content
not.
and you're happy. If you were like that unhappy, like you're unhappy with the circumstances and what's going on in your neighborhood, that's a total different thing.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't even be friends with you if you were bashing other people for their career choices. It doesn't matter. Look, teachers don't get paid shit, but they decide to do that. What are you going to start bashing teachers?
Yep.
But um that's how for like at least 5 seconds I was just like, damn, dude, he kind of touched me there. Like, you're just calling me a 45-year-old door dasher but then, after 5 seconds you start to realize like, okay, they are wildly unhappy with their life because they would never mention anything like that. You're bashing someone for making money and surviving. That's fucking crazy to me.
I always say this without cursing. Okay.
Fuck that.
Okay. This is
I'm
the
sorry.
same. This is the same motherfucker that will call him DoorDasher for his food. Okay, hands down. Okay. Um, I've done that twice. Would you like to know when? When we had the COVID crisis. That was it. I've never done it again. You know, I believe that door dashing alone, and I hope he hears this. Door dashing is for that single parent who has like 5 kids or 3 kids. Doesn't matter how much.
It's making money. It doesn't fucking matter if you're
Exactly.
sucking Donald Trump's dick, according to him,
You see this?
or what the fuck does it matter? I'm making money.
Hey, but you got a job. You're supporting
Kitty.
yourself. Yeah, you got.
That's funny.
You know, you got a job, you're supporting yourself, you're supporting your daughter the best you can, and that's the most appreciated thing in life that a father can do. And for somebody to criticize what you're doing,
That's not a
he,
parent.
he's an asshole, hands down. You know, as far as
He's an asshole in a different way. The dude Link or whatever. He's passionate about what he believes in. I don't see him as an asshole as a person because he's a good guy. And isn't that crazy how he can say all this shit and I can actually praise who he is, and that's called maturity and adulthood. If he came at me or whatever, like, my thing is that if you have a problem with me, you can talk all you want, but if you come at me aggressively, then I have to defend myself, and the good
yeah,
luck.
there comes a time to calling you personally, then putting it out there where everybody sees it. You know what I'm saying? My problem is the problem with people today, even on my post, okay? And like I said, I love all my friends. There's got to be a level of respect, you know? They don't,
No, I disagree, but go ahead.
I believe that, hey, I don't know this guy, but let me get to know him. Let me check out what he's doing. Like, do a little bit of research before you come up with a post like, "Oh, you love Trump, suck his dick." You know what I'm saying?
It just all no. I would prefer people do that so they could expose their intelligence level, and that's why I said
and that's what
IQ.
it is. That's what it is.
Just to get speak all you want.
Yeah. But
Your acuity is low, and if your acuity is low, it's just very simple, Henry. If you have a low intelligence, I'm not going to debate with you because you're going to resort to violence. So it's important for me to detect if you're able to have a conversation or not. Because if you want to get violent, okay, I'm not about that life anymore. Dude, that's when I was younger. And honestly, the only time I'm going to get violent is if you're attacking me or my daughter or my family and friends or someone that's helpless. But I am not going to put myself in a situation where I have to get violent because this person's getting violent. So it's just like, okay, he's getting violent, so I'm going to like, yeah, what you going to do? You're going to find me in public? It's just like, no. Goodbye. I have nothing to talk to you about. Because what happens is when it comes to a very important lesson, Henry, just listen to me for 1 second. In the Game of Thrones, okay, I watched that shit through and through like 12 times. I swear to God. Especially during COVID, I just fucking kept watching it. It was the most life-changing thing for me. And what I learned is that when people let me gather my thought for a second. I'm sorry because I
has
started
power,
about that.
has power.
But just listen. Yeah, I'm sorry, not listen. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But just hear me. When you oh, I forgot where this was going. Fuck. 1 second. When it comes to someone coming at you, shit, I forgot.
Dude, if you're talking about Game of Thrones, I get it. You know, you got someone with power. She abused the power, and in the very end, she got killed because of her power.
Yes, but there was so much in between that I wanted to mention.
Her abused power because, you know, when I first watched Game of Thrones, perfect example, you know, and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got into power and used good out of that power, but then after a while started to abuse the good, became bad, and got extinguished, got done up, you know, by somebody close to her, if you know what I mean. You know, and
Oh yeah.
it's like everything that you say, you know what I mean? Whether it be facts or not facts, if it's not facts, it's an opinion. Yet you get ridiculed for your opinion. And it's like people forget it's an opinion. It's just how I feel. Change my mind. Instead of changing your mind, you're an asshole. Don't let me see you on the streets. Like, what the hell is that about, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, you're an asshole for putting that up there like that because now I have a record. So if I'm calling you like, yo, something happened to Vic, like, where is he? He's been missing for a week. I'm like, oh, let me look at that post. Yo, look for this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, people. You know what I'm saying? First of all, this is a podcast. This is a talk. If you have a problem, chime in. Just chime in. You know, what are you scared? You know, we want to hear how you feel because remember, I'm a firm believer, okay? You do not argue on messages. Talk to me.
I hate it. Yeah, and
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
yes.
And that's just what he did. He used messages. Who knows? He probably meant nothing by it. Just hypothetical, you know? It's nothing to worry about. But in this day and age, it is possibly something to worry about.
No, I don't take any threats
No, no, no,
lightly.
no, no. But what I'm
Period.
saying is,
Yeah.
like, like I've read stories, I've watched videos on cases where, oh, they just brushed it off. You know what I'm saying? But like, what if you're a Walmart and you come across Joe Schmo who threatened you on a message? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna take your gun off for safety just in case? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to live like this, but here we are living like it, bro.
No, just we have to consider the world that we live in.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
naive. I always carry. Everywhere I go, I carry. Because I haven't been to New York to visit family because I cannot carry. If I cannot carry, I'm not going into that state, period. And the reason is it's not because I feel threatened that someone's gonna attack me, is that you're not gonna catch me lacking. Period. I don't care.
Absolutely.
So if you want to come attack me for any reason for something that I said, you better be prepared, because what's gonna unleash from that, dude, I'm not fighting you. I'm not a fucking teenager. People and that's the thing that's sad, is that people don't understand. They make threats and pose things and like, oh yeah, I'll see you when I see you. It's like, okay, well, first of all, I'm not gonna be in that specific area now, specifically because you said that, because I know that I carried. Just like that gentleman that just got shot. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. So now I'm never going to visit that place. But I'll tell you what, if I ever see you in a place that I know that I shouldn't see you in and you come attack me, good luck. And it's not trying to sound tough, right? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, you're trying to be a tough guy. It's like, no, I can fight. I know how to defend myself and I could take someone down. But I refuse. I fucking refuse. You're going to attack me for my words? Good luck. Good luck. Bro, I'm not calling you out. I'm not trying to meet you on a beach. Fuck that.
And unfortunately, Vic, that's how we're living, bro.
And that's fine.
In that state.
Perfectly fine with me.
There are some people that are very psychotic on that. Like, I really hate this guy. I really hate what he talks about. I hate the other guy he talks to too. You know what I mean? If I come across them, I'm gonna handle it. Like, why?
Go for it.
Because of an opinion? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what bothered me most about all those posts is they judge you and they don't even know you. And I'm very bothered by it. And again, this is why I don't like to post too much on Facebook on how I feel about situations, because it gets ugly. These are people that just watch, news, social media, whatever. I'm not that person. First of all, I don't watch the news. Okay. I watch videos and I make it my business to watch read the comments, everything. You know what I'm saying? And, I feed off of what people say. I really do, and I try to make it make sense. If somebody says something weird about a video, I watch the video again just to see if I can see it. And if I don't see it, dude, you're just fucking blind. That Renee Good situation was blown up to a point where, you know what? If I watch it again, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore, because like everybody has an opinion about something. And when there's a negative opinion, I don't see it in the video. I don't fucking see it. They said, oh, the guy, put his phone in the right hand when he went in front of the car. No, he did not. He did it when he was on the side of the car.
Yeah, but then you ask people, let's talk about it, and they're like,
he did it.
Crickets. Where you guys at? We're still here. We have 55 minutes left. Where's everybody at that was criticizing?
Exactly.
I'm talking like, yo, we're all snowed in. You're in Florida. Well, I'm in Virginia. All the people that were talking shit are all in Virginia. They all have the opportunity to talk all that shit. And you want to know something, Henry? Like some of them are probably watching this or saw the post, but they're like, oh yeah, I offered, yo, you can look this shit up on Facebook right now. I offered one of my people 100 fucking dollars to come on this and fucking debate. Where's he at? Where's he at?
They're not, because you know what it is? They're afraid.
$100?
They're afraid to hear the
shit.
truth. Okay? And it's not the truth. The truth is the opinion. People are afraid to think outside the box.
It's not, no. I'm sorry. It's not that they're afraid. Well, yeah, I mean you are right. They're afraid to have the conversation because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I don't think it's more so thinking outside the box. Well, yeah, you see, like it's a mixture of that.
Well, dude, let me tell you, I'm not like this because I'm like this. I'm like this because I used to go to Times Square and debate with people with a friend of mine. All we did was debate. And yo, people got angry. I almost got beat up because I was like, yo, it's okay for you to feel that way, but this is how I feel. They didn't like that. They literally did not like that. And I told them, like, yo, dude, this is just a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you getting so mad at my belief versus your belief? Is it because I make sense, or is it because I'm just making no sense? You know what I'm saying? But like, you remember school, they had the debate club. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's been going on for years and years. You know what I mean? And it's all about a belief. That's all it is. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's false. But when you make people think about what they're saying, that's when they're against you. Because they're mad because you put a thought in their head and they're like, F you, man. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, I don't have to know what I'm talking about. It's just how I feel. And that's the problem with the word. Jason said it best. Okay? Jason, yo, dude, he brought up Lincoln. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look at history and follow it. Like, okay, we got Lincoln, we got Nixon, we got fucking what's his name? Jim Carter, Carter. We had Reagan. I want to see what was going on at that time. You know what I'm saying? And just follow up on it. Yo, your boy, genius. You know what I'm saying? He broke shit down like, I was like, oh, word? Oh, wow. I would have never thought about that. My only thoughts is like what I mentioned about black slavery, this and that. So we're still in that, and we're not going to what Martin Luther King preached, what he was all for. So
fuck Martin Luther King. Yo, when people mention that dude, bro, that shit, like I'm not saying that fuck his thoughts, but his character and who he was as a person personally, it's no different from Eminem. I love Eminem's music and his message. Well, not more so his message. But the dude is vile as much as Martin Luther King. So
yeah.
In general, like
agreed.
I'm agreeing with what you have to say. But at some point, like are we gonna agree? Not me and you, obviously, but are we gonna sit down and agree and try to build? Or are we just gonna keep going against each other? Because when it does come to Abraham Lincoln, bro, like, yo, the massacres that took place was fucking crazy over fucking slavery. And now we're dealing with some
It started
shit.
with him, a white guy. Go figure.
Bro, now we're dealing with a situation where it's just like, I want to protect the illegals, but the people that are protecting the illegals never gave a fuck about them before. They
Nope.
still don't. They're not doing anything for them now.
Nope. They're
So
not.
it is all a house of cards and a game, and this is why we need to talk. We need to talk about it, even if it's low scale. I don't care if I get 10 people's attention. That like this is a conversation that needs to have more often, and I'm proud to have you as a friend. I'm so glad that Jay jumped on because
Yep.
it doesn't matter what he had to say. The point is that he said,
Yep.
he spoke. We need to talk. And for everyone that's watching this, and I'm sure there's going to be some people that's going to watch this like, oh, like, yo, y'all had so much to say. I know personally that y'all have nothing else to do, bro. We're iced in Virginia. I'm going to go online and see that you put out 1 million posts during this conversation when you saw that I invited you, and this is for the complainers, and none of yous have nothing to say. None of them.
No.
Your friends, my friends, all these people that are talking shit. Oh, you want to talk face to face? Why can't you just answer my text? No, that's not how the world works. So that's how I know people are full of shit. That's how I know that when they speak, there is no sincerity behind that. There is nothing more important than having a conversation. And I'm gonna leave it there. That's it.
My problem is I took some of the messages as they were speaking facts, not opinions. Okay. And
They're facts.
yeah, they're facts, And I was still okay with it. Don't get me wrong. I was okay with it. If that's how you want to think, fine, whatever. But unfortunately, there is no facts to any situation that is going on here in the States. There isn't. Okay? All I know is this. You are being corrupted by what's going on right now and forgetting what's going on in the government. That's the bottom line. Okay? There's a cover up, they want to talk about the Epstein files. Did you know that the Epstein files, all they're showing is pictures? That's it. Clinton was with some chick sitting on her lap.
No, there's
and
I have to correct you a little bit because there's thousands of files that I personally looked into. Yeah.
No. I looked into some of them too, but there's no explanation about it. Yeah,
Oh, you're just saying like what the media is putting out, like, oh yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a deeper side to it if it is, whatever the situation is. But again, people, I hate to say it, even people I know, they're only being fed what's right there, smack in your face. Me, I get fed. I know you get fed. And I'm like, oh, let me back this up. Let me see what's really going on. You know what I mean? Did you know that half these videos that they show, if you look through it, like, oh, AI is great. AI is this, AI that. Dude, I just recently started following a guy who's breaking down AI. Yo, dude, it's me and you, whoever, moving like this, doing this and that, laughing or whatever. And all they do is put your face on my body.
Yeah.
And now I'm Victor. Yo, this dude is breaking down AI like it's no joke. And You spoke about it to me one time, how they show, oh, did you see how when they were young and now they're old? Okay. Like 22 years old, 57 now, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's getting dangerous, bro. Trust me, man. It's for me, it's exhausting to follow this, to see a video. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. You know what I mean? To a video is like, oh, okay, I can tell it's fake because the voice sounds like, the whatever they're saying sounds like they're in a hallway or something. Dude, they're gonna polish it up, and you know what? You and I are gonna be like, I don't know about this one. It looks real. Right now in videos, they show like it's the news station, and they're talking about a situation. It's all fake. It's entirely fake. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you look it up, it'll tell you, oh, that yeah, that's AI. So at least we still have people that are out there to remind us that shit is fake. But what's going to happen when they eventually extinguish those people and we're watching the video like, oh, word? Oh my God. Before you know it, dude, you and I are doomed. There's nothing we could do about it.
Well, I don't think we're going to be doomed. I think the people that are misled are going to be doomed. And that's really important to understand is there's one thing that I would never submit to is like, I'm going to be confused. You're not going to be confused. We're intelligent human beings. We know better. The only thing that will be doomed from is the consequences of the people that are doomed. And then it falls on us, like we have to clean up a mess or whatever the case is. But no, where I'm not going to be doomed.
Deep.
Listen to this really quick. I just saw a video before I spoke to you guys a couple of hours ago because we've been on for a couple of hours and I'm loving it. There was like an ice storm and they were showing cop cars swerving in things and 22,000 likes. And then you read the comments and people are like, what was he thinking or whatever. It's just like, do you guys not know that this is AI? And that's okay. You know what? Y'all think that. That's fine. At this point in my life, I'm not trying to convince anyone what's real or what's wrong. I would rather you be delusional so I can detect immediately who is who. That's what it comes down to. So if you want to think that that's real because of AI, you are doing me a favor by letting me know where your head is at. And if you're our age and believe in that, then you're way far gone. Way far gone. And you know what? I don't want to waste my time on you. And Henry, we have one life to live.
Yep.
That's it. This is it. Okay? If there's an afterlife, that'll be great. But as far as I know, this is our life to live. I am not going to waste another motherfucking moment on someone like an old friend that's saying, I hope I shoot your brown ass. Look, I don't care. That, like, dude, I'm so focused on life. You know, people want to call me a 45-year-old DoorDash. And even if I was a 57-year-old DoorDasher, dude, my life is great. I have a roof over my head. I make money. I can do what I want. My daughter's healthy. I'm actually getting along with my daughter's mother, thank God. You know, I have people like you in my life, like Jason and Rashad. Like, yo, I have great people in my life. Yeah, life is hard. We get sad, we cry, we get headaches. Things are hard, but it's not that bad because I'm fighting for truth. And I would rather do that than be in a delusion, watching the Super Bowl and football and yelling. Like I was talking to a dude the other day. He's like, what's your favorite sports team? When I was checking out at the register. And I'm like, I don't watch sports. He's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, huh? I play video games. That's what I do. I love it. And I
People get offended.
stream.
Yeah, people get
You know, like
offended.
I live my own life and I love my life, bro. So it doesn't matter if I'm making millions of dollars or a couple of $100 doing DoorDash or streaming or whatever the case is. That's what life is about. And you
Hey,
should be very happy in what you're doing
hey, listen,
because, dude, yeah,
dude, bro. Let me tell you like this. It's interesting you said that. Okay, I'm not heavily into sports, but I like sports. But
sure,
I watch the highlights. I'm not gonna sit there for 2 hours watching the game.
I can.
That's
Yeah.
2 hours of my life that I gotta do something else. They're gonna do the highlights. Okay. But it is interesting what you said though. You know, somebody came up to you, you don't watch sports. Oh my God. Who
Oh,
are
it literally happened
you?
2 days ago.
You know, you're Spanish, you don't watch soccer. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never owned a sports game when I had gaming consoles. I'm into racing, cartoon games, or whatever the case is. It's more fun. But like, you're absolutely right. We are all being conditioned a certain way, and if you don't pay attention, you're gonna be part of it. You're gonna be that sheep, and unfortunately, dude, it's just gonna get worse, bro. You know, we spoke about AI is getting there. You know what I mean? Before you know it, you're not even gonna know what you're watching anymore. And it's like, it's. I've always said this to you before, and I'll say it again. A lot of movies that have came out, a lot of movies that are out now, a lot of movies that are about to come out. It's what we're going through. Pay attention. It's real. Don't watch it because Victor is the main actor. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. If people don't pay attention, they will use big time actors to promote these movies. So, oh, I'm gonna watch Jason Momoa. I'm interested in this. And not really pay attention to the movie because they're paying attention to the actor, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Right there is already the gimmick. You know what I mean? You know, the other day, what was it? Please don't lose the thought. The other day, I think your brother put out something new or whatever. He did a video, and I'm listening to it again. I love what he does, but get off of that tune shit singing. Just do it, bro, or get somebody else to sing the part. And you rap or whatever. That's just my. I'm old school, bro. I'm raw, and everything got to be like this. You
Dude,
want
it's your opinion.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. You want effects, man? Put some delay, some echo, or whatever, but let it be you. You know what I mean? Don't do that auto tune bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But look, and I'm not trying to defend my brother because I love my brother, obviously. We're always going to defend each other, but
Yeah,
not like in a way where what he's doing caters to a certain amount of people.
yeah,
So your opinion, honestly, is none of his business.
yeah,
So what I mean by that, if he heard what you just said, and then he's just like, "Fuck you!" Like, what are you gonna do? Wait till I catch you in the streets. That's literally what's
yeah.
happening with us.
That's what I was getting
That's
at.
literally,
Like
yeah. I'm
he'll
sorry. Go
get
ahead.
mad.
Yeah,
Like he'll get mad at me, and I'm like, dude, I'm just
he
trying.
would never.
I,
But the
I'm just
point
trying to
is
help
that
your career,
our,
bro. You know
you
what
know,
I'm saying?
but it doesn't matter. The point is that we have the same opinion about other
Yeah,
situations and people attack us. Like
yeah,
my brother wouldn't do that. He'll just be like, okay, that's your opinion. But other people are like, yo, wait till I see you in the streets, cuh. You don't like my
yep,
music, nigga?
yep,
You know,
yep, yep,
it's
yep.
just like, what? You gonna kill me because I don't like your music? Yeah, nigga. Yo, you my fucking like, yo, it's fucking crazy.
No, 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 no. Ready, ready, ready. This is gonna blow your mind. People look at it like this. I thought I knew you.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, everybody knows me personally. Me, everybody knows I am neutral on life because you know what? There's a up and there's a down, but I'm in the middle. And just because I tell you how I feel for the middle, you're gonna bash me? Come on, man. Like honestly, the comments, one of my friends said that, yo, I know you're stating an opinion, but these are the facts.
Ugh.
Oh, they're your facts. If you want to believe that, I will respect that. But this is how I look at it. You know what I mean? This is what I saw. This is how I analyzed it. I can be wrong. Don't get me wrong, dude. I can be wrong. Who knows? You know, videos right now, bro, and you know this, like, videos are dangerous. We're only seeing what's on the video. If I break down the video my way and analyze it and make my comment on it, people are upset. People are just like, dude, remember, I warned you. I warned you. Hey, check out my post. People are gonna go fighting on it. Yo, they bash you like they knew who the hell you were. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If you went far enough and be like, who the hell is Victor? Oh, it's one of Henry's friends. Maybe they might have took a different road, but they don't know who you are. So here
But
you
that it
are.
shouldn't even be like that. You should have respect for strangers. You have no idea what they've been through. I have people telling me like, "Oh, you don't know what it is to be black or whatever," and I'm just like, "Whoa, I
Oh,
didn't even know you knew my history. I'm sorry. You know where I grew up.
exactly.
You know what's
Exactly.
crazy? A lot of the places that I've managed here in Williamsburg, they see that because I'm well spoken, I'm wearing glasses, and I'm dressed up in a suit. They're like, "Oh, you in a rock band?" Yeah, right. I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
yo, you have no idea the
Oh,
shit that I was in, bro.
remember this, okay? Because back when I was young, I grew up like this, bro. You're gonna laugh at this one. If I saw a dude with a whole tattoos, I'm like, oh, he must be in a rock band. Meanwhile, dude's gay. You know, dude, pussy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
Like,
I hear you. Yeah.
he just goes to clubs. He works in the doctor's office. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild. You know what I'm saying? But we do live,
Excuse me.
um,
Sorry.
we do live in a very judgmental world, bro. So like here in the United States is very sensitive. Like, oh no, yeah, they were
No, I mean some. Yeah.
they were protecting their rights. Oh yeah, hitting that dude in the face. Yeah, okay, I get that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, dude, Jason said it best, man. I'm telling you, we- we're heading into something that people don't understand. And the way I look at it, oh my God, we made open and carry legal now. Dude, we're heading into something very bad, bro. And I hate to say it, and I said it to you many times before, you and I are gonna live to see it, man. I hate to say it, we are. We're gonna live to see it, or we will eventually become victims to it. Let me go. I'm just going to Walmart. Oh, gee, I got shot because somebody didn't like my presence. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. People are gonna become judge and jurors, and they're gonna be like, "I don't like you, dude." Pop. That's what's gonna come down to.
Well, I mean, when you bring it to that, that's where we were many years ago before
Yeah,
civil law
yeah,
was introduced. But with all of that said, I would like to end the conversation here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I gotta pee again anyway, so.
Yeah. So, look, man, great conversation. I'm glad that we had someone to join the conversation. And for anyone that's
Absolutely.
watching and was
Absolutely.
watching, etc., this is a platform that you can say whatever you want. And
Chime in.
me and
Chime in.
Mode will never take offense. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it to you, brother.
Just be prepared. We will say something back. And don't get offended.
Oh yeah, if you come on this platform and say 1 + 1 = 3 and we disagree and you want to throw a temper tantrum, we will let you. I won't even mute you. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But, you know.
Listen, this is my bottom line. I'll end it off with this. I can speak for myself, but I know you're the same way. I am always eager to hear what someone has to say, whether I like it or not, because it's a learning experience. I learned from your buddy Jason. I really did. I really learned from. I don't even know him from a hole in the wall. I just met him today, but
He's a
man,
great dude. Yeah.
he woke me up on certain things, and that Lincoln thing threw me off guard because I was like, "Oh wow, this guy went back as far as Lincoln." And you know what? He's right, bro. When you look at history, he's right, and I think that's what's going on. He brought up a point. History alone is what's going to get to us. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to go to Lincoln, to all the presidents after that, what they did, it'd be very interesting. And I'm going to, dude, I promise you this, man. I'm going to dive into everybody after Lincoln, before Lincoln, just to see what they offered for us, what they did for us. You know what I'm saying? What bad, what good, everything, like what everything led to. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, people wake up. This did not start with Trump. Trump is just enforcing it. And because of people with camera phones, people with social media, people who need the likes, you know what I'm saying? That's all that's happening. Trump is just in an era where people are just destroying the media. That's all it is. Because it's everywhere, bro. That's all I got to say.
And we'll leave it at that.
All right, brother, man.
Mode 101, my brother Henry. I will talk to you tomorrow, and the discussion.
Radio. Love you lots.
It'll never end. The discussion will never end.
No.
All right, brother. Love you, man.
You be